From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
Everyone else's, everyone else's, everyone else's, yeah. Everyone else's, everyone else's, everyone else's, yeah. That's just grains of salt. That's just tears in the oven. Everyone else's, everyone else's, everyone else's, yeah.
It's Tuesday, March 19th, 2019, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studio on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Also on the Skype line from Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Hello, everybody.
And sitting in for Annie F. Downs today, all the way from Gatorland, Florida, Big Cat, Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm sitting in for her. What happens when she's here? Am I just on the show again?
Well, today we're mixing it up because Annie is on a mental vacation, and the first thing she cut for her itinerary was doing this podcast. So she's out this week, but she'll be back next week.
She's really shut the machine down. I respect it.
Yeah, I do respect it. She said this is a hard staycation. You know what I mean? It's not a soft staycation. A soft staycation for the unacquainted is when you occasionally check the email, when you cut the grass.
That's your job. Yeah, a soft staycation is what your job is. It's just, you're at home. Every once in a while, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to write something. But generally...
No, a soft staycation is where you're still doing stuff around. You got the checklist of stuff around the house. There's no cation in it. It's just staying and you're doing stuff. A hard staycation is the list is going to wait. You know, those blinds will get hung after the staycation. You know, like calling the chimney sweep. That's gonna wait. You're staycationing, and I respect that she took the hard staycation.
Calling the chimney sweep. That's a thing.
Yeah,
I called the chimney sweep not that long ago. And
really,
okay, are you living in 1800s Bristol?
No, okay. Can I? All right, here's the thing. He came back flipping down the street, too.
Yeah, the same stuff.
Here he comes. This is true.
Bob's your uncle.
This is true. I've lived in this home for like 3 years. And you know, when we first moved in, the home was built like in the 1980s, not the 1780s, okay? But it had a chimney, and the home inspector was like, hey, man, before you use that fireplace, make sure you get the chimney swept. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. So no lie, you know, the weather turns cold the first year in the house. I'm driving down the road, and there's a billboard for a chimney sweep service, and it said, financing available. And I'm thinking, you know...
I thought this was $100.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought too. And I'm like, people are having to finance the chimney sweeping. Like, this has got to be a big expense. And I put chimney sweeping very low on the priority list of of house stuff, of stuff that I potentially need to finance. Chimney sweeping is very far below. Yeah. But anyway, this past winter got really cold. My kids want to do s'mores. They're on a s'mores kick. You know, my son calls the little outdoor fire pit. He calls it a s'more maker. Like, that's what he thinks its purpose. Like a gigantic s'more maker.
That's so not cute.
Dan, he's
like 8 years old. He should know.
I'm like, Dan, listen, we got to bite the bullet. We got to call this chimney sweep. Get the financing ready. Call the credit union. Let's see if we can do a GoFundMe. A Kickstarter, you know, pull some money for a benefit for this thing. And I'm I'm prepared to finance it. And literally they come back and they're like, okay, it's $99. And who's financing it?
Who's financing?
Listen, I got about 4 more years before I pay off that last chimney sweeping, of paying $3 a month. What is the financing for?
Who's
that
Virginia?
for?
The economy isn't soaring right now. People got a lot of needs. I feel like this is coming from an elitist perspective. Some people are like, this is a luxury.
Because we know chimney
is a luxury.
We know from Mary Poppins that doing your own chimney is not going to be expensive, because Bert still had to have another job doing playing music on the street and stuff.
That's true.
He's not loaded. And so we knew it wasn't going to be expensive, but classic Virginia.
Well, that's probably the most realistic thing about Mary Poppins, because here in Nashville, as you guys probably know, there's a lot of people who are musicians as their job, but they pay money with something like chimney sweeping, for example.
Right.
So I think Bert was not making, I think the musician thing was just like, you know, he was hoping it would take off someday.
Goodness.
That was for his soul.
I'll never see Mary Poppins the same again. Bert is a Nashville hipster. He's a musician who can't pay the bill, so he has to do chimney sweeping.
Yeah. And then he's just like, oh, okay, cool. I know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to draw on sidewalks. No big deal. I'm an artist now. And you're like, okay,
exactly.
Oh man, he only has one job. He's a chimney sweep.
Yeah.
Everything else, he says he's like a man. He has a lot of different jobs. Not true. He has a lot of different hobbies that he can't monetize because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your one man band thing, Bert.
Yeah, because other people can say,
That's how
hey,
I feel
Jesse,
about
what do you
Nashville.
do? I play basketball. That is true. It's a hobby. I occasionally play, but that doesn't make me professional. Just like these musicians that.
Dude. I was out in LA with some friends after church, and it was their friends, so it was a bunch of people I didn't know, and I was sitting with a couple of people I did know, and then the guy next to me, we were just chatting. I was getting to know him. I was like, well, "What do you do?" And he goes, "I play golf." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he doesn't want to be identified by his profession.
Yeah,
I'm a person who enjoys playing golf, right?
Sure.
And so I said, "Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what do you do for money?" Is what I said, and he goes, I play golf. And then my friend leans over and goes, that's Ricky Fowler, don't you? Yeah. And I was like,
He's like,
I wouldn't know who that was.
He's one of the top
know.
professional golfers, apparently.
Yeah.
And I was very embarrassed. And I go, oh, you're the guy on the Puma commercials during college football. Oh, wow.
yeah, I know you. I've seen you on The Sport I Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that you thought because you're out in LA, oh, this is just one of those guys who doesn't want to define himself by what he does.
That's
Like,
totally
I don't care
what I
what I do. Why do you ask me who I am?
Well, he was
what I
like,
do?
literally the conversation was he was talking about possibly getting a beach house in Malibu. Yeah. And then I was like, what? And that's why I go, what do you do? And he goes, I play golf. And I was like, right. But what do you do for all the money where you could have a beach house, Oh,
yeah.
Well, I've always, I think I've told you guys this before. I've always dreamed of when people ask what I do is to introduce myself and say independently wealthy. Because at that point, there's an air of mystery to it. Like it doesn't sound inappropriate, but it's like you said independently wealthy. You didn't say wealthy. So that means you didn't inherit anything. Somehow
Self-made.
you independently came upon this wealth. And that's all I say. Well, what did it come from? Independent wealth.
Yeah. Because I don't want to drop the Burt Mary Poppins thing. Have you ever heard the theory that he was not like, there's always the idea that he's romantically involved with Mary Poppins, but the theory is actually no, but the theory is that Mary Poppins doesn't age and that she actually was his nanny when he was a kid. So he is always hearkening back Mary Poppins for the next generation of children.
Like a Macron situation from France. Like they're probably like one of those things.
I literally just got chills. That is paradigm shifting.
It's paradigm. Well, and then when you go back and you watch the original movie, you're like, oh, it's totally like he knows the secrets of the things she's going to do and how she's going to serve the family. And his job is to usher in her magic for the next family that he spots.
It's like in Let the Right One In when the vampire takes on a new young host.
Yes.
To kidnap people for her bodies for her.
What are you talking about?
You've never seen Let the Right One In?
Just say yes.
I don't even know what that means.
It's going to get into nerd.
All right, that'll be relevant after dark.
Yeah. Let's just get back to the most impressive thing about chimney sweeps is that they don't walk, they don't drive cars or trucks. They do gainers down Main Street to get to wherever they need to go, and it's awesome. Chimney sweeps are the original parkour champions. They jump from rooftop to rooftop doing flips. Chimney sweeps are they invented parkour in my opinion.
For the very long distances, for an out, they got to go outside of town. I could see them submitting to using, I forget the name, but the bicycles with one giant wheel in front.
I learned that from Jesse Carey on the Relevant Podcast.
But there's seven of them on top of each other's shoulders with sticking the long sticks out for balance. The chimney sweeps.
Using their little sweeps for balance.
They're just doing that as they ride down the street to keep balance. I don't know why that helps, but it does. Yep. And they're just like 10 high, riding down to go to the next job, which will be financed.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we have a great show coming up for you today. Joining us later is Kim Walker-Smith. She has a powerful new book coming out. She's one of our favorite worship leaders, but she's now an author. The book is called Brave Surrender. It's her first book, and she opens up about how God healed her from a very painful childhood. It's a stunning story, and she tells us about it on the show today. So it's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for that. Okay, moving the show along. It's time for Slices.
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
That's right. Okay, I found, you know what, I should say I have a twofer today. One is an update to a very important story that we've been really covering pretty hard on this podcast. The other one is just one that I found interesting, and it's research conducted by Barna. And, you know, Barna does all kinds of different research on demographics to equip, you know, people in church leadership to better reach people, to create different programs and different things within the church that are going to better meet the needs of different demographics based on actual research. But this one, I feel like there's obvious implications for the church, but there's also, I just found like it really interesting because I felt like outside of you know, this seems very unintuitive, like counterintuitive. Like I would have never thought this. I want to ask you guys around the table, what percentage of Americans do you think would say they have a close friend who is either 15 years older or younger than them? They would identify them as a close friend that is 15 years older or younger. Tyler, what would you think?
What percentage of Americans?
Yeah, well, let me ask you that. Well, do you have someone who's 15 years older or younger that you would say is a close friend?
I would say I have a friend who is 15 years older who I would call close.
Okay, Eddie?
No, not close friend. I mean, I have no. All of them were within like 5 years of me.
Cameron?
Yeah, for sure. Several.
Okay. Chandler, do you have someone that is 15 years older or younger that you say is a close friend?
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but it's possible. I mean,
we're not talking like family members, like my mom's
No,
best friend.
no, not family members.
Hold on, Chandler, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh yeah, no. I thought I might be close, but I'm not.
It's still weird. It'd be weird for it to be a younger person. Like, yeah, I've got a 15-year-old friend.
High school.
He's cool. We hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, that's 28. So I'm like, I hang out with 28-year-olds all the time.
Yeah,
that's not weird.
So 2/3 of Americans, exactly 68% say they have someone who's a close friend who's either 15 years younger or older. I found that really surprising. I mean, I guess it depends on how old you are, what period of life
depends
you are
on how
in,
old you are,
because the spectrum starts to grow on one side. But interestingly, other than people using the term friend to identify how they would call someone who is, outside of their demographic, the most common use isn't teacher. It's not employee, supervisor, sponsor, mentee, lover, student, lover, neighbor. It's mentor. The most common other than friend is mentor. 20% said that they actually have a mentor who they say is a close friend. I don't have anyone that's 15 years older.
20% is a much bigger number than I would have thought.
It's a much bigger 68% is a much bigger number than I thought of people who have friends who are either 15 years younger or 15 years older.
I think it's a good thing.
Cameron, out of everyone, you said that you can name a handful that are on both sides of that.
No. The younger side, not the older side.
Okay. When did that start to shift for you? Do you remember? But that's interesting because out of, most of the people that agreed to it said that the friends were older than them, not younger.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, just in recent years, I mean, the relevant staff is all in their mid-20s, it seems like, except for you guys. But so it's like I'm always surrounded by people in their mid-upper 20s.
Note for improving the podcast. Just as something to think about in the next strategy meeting.
But I guess in the last 5 years, probably. You know what it was? Actually, this is true. Post separation and divorce, I had to get out there and make friends at church and stuff. Yeah. And the people who were going out and doing things were in their upper 20s because people in my age group were married and at home. You know what I mean? And so like my friends at church are all younger than me. So that's how that happened. And the mentor thing, I do have older mentors, but they're people I see infrequently. We would talk a few times a year, not hang out every week. So
I always shy away a little bit from the mentoring concept, but I do have guys like men and women that are older than me who like there are pieces of who they are that I kind of try to draw from.
Why do you shy away from the mentoring thing?
Well, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it, but I think sometimes it's put a little bit on a pedestal. Like, okay, this is the person I want to become. And so I will just kind of follow this person's moves. And it's it kind of turns one dimensional. Like sometimes it kind of deifies a person. And I think that a lot of people have a much healthier view of it. But especially when I was younger, I was like, okay, this person is going to fill the role of like, dad that maybe wasn't super strong when I was growing up. And it was like, no, it's helpful to see people as like fully dimensional, full of faults, sinful, on the same road. But, they've had some more experience. And so I'll learn from that. So I kind of am like, it's like, I don't know if it's mentor. I know I'm taking this down a rabbit hole that you didn't intend it to, but just the difference between.
I think that's interesting. I think that's a good point because you're saying it's not a two-way street. It just becomes a entirely, like it's a one-way relationship in which this person becomes sort of just an object almost.
Right. And because I think it's really important because I'm not older, but like there are people in their younger 20s that I have a little bit of that opposite relationship with. And I find that the way that it's most like helpful is when I'm brutal, like when it's very two-way. Like, what can I be learning from you? What can I be understanding from you?
I'm not really out looking for a mentor. Where I'm looking at several dedicated mentees that I can shape and I can use to run errands for me.
I believe you are the bad guy from Despicable Me, and you just want minions.
Yeah, you're creating
henchmen.
Henchmen, goons, mentees, whatever words you want to use. But first, I want to psychologically, build utter dependence and trust on me. I just make them do like absurd exercises. Like I just dump like 10,000 popsicle sticks in front of them. And I say, I want an exact replica of my home. When you have done it, you will know the way. And once they've done it, I just come in and don't even look at it. I just smash it all up. And then I go to the next absurd task after the next absurd task. So I have utter dedication and dependence. I think that's what the Barna survey's getting to.
Yeah. Eddie, I cannot stop thinking of your M. Night Shyamalan moment. I cannot stop thinking about Bert was the last kid. Yeah. And he's showing the way. I mean, he was dead all along. I mean, you literally have changed my perspective of that entire movie. And dude, I can't stop thinking about it.
There's so much magical stuff to that movie. Do you know about the lady, the Feed the Birds lady?
No. I mean, here's another one. She reappeared in Home Alone. Home Alone 2. Lost in
the Feed the Birds lady. She was
that's kind of an interesting mentee mentor thing. A little weird, a little creepy in hindsight. Doesn't age well, but
So she was like a famous actress when Walt Disney was growing up, and he always in his head had her in the role. Like he wanted her to be the bird lady and couldn't find her. It turns out she was in a nursing home, basically like living out the end of her life. And Walt was like, I really want her in the movie. So he agreed to pay for her care for the rest of her life, got her out of the nursing home. And she was able, like she had all kinds of dementia, but she was able to get out like the lines that she had for the Feed the Bird. And that's her last IMDb credit is the Feed the Birds lady. And she died not long after. Like that movie is really crazy interesting.
Wow.
So,
and I started to watch.
Taught me that.
I started to watch Saving Mr. Banks the other night, but I fell asleep during it.
Yeah. But,
it's beautiful. I started watching the trailer. I started watching the trailer for it the other day and I fell asleep. It is, man, just I don't know, it might be my attention span, but someone actually briefly explained the premise to me, and I was out like a light. So Tom Hanks plays. What? Yeah, Tom. Yeah, that's kind of his thing. I can't remember the last Tom Hanks movie I stayed awake through. I'm sorry. Can you guys? Captain Phillips, listen, I read this in the news. Like, I don't need 2.5 hours of it.
I mean, how are you going to do with the Mr. Rogers movie? I mean, that is like slow on slow.
Yeah, but I don't fall asleep during movies. I put this one on at 2 a.m. laying in bed. That's why I fell asleep during it. Yeah. But
that's user error.
The only other movie I can remember actually sleeping, like falling asleep during, was the Marvel Infinity War one. Like
there's a lot going on there.
I feel like that's loud, a lot of action.
Yeah, there's like people blowing up and dying and
I woke up and I was like, I don't know what all these what this video game is doing. And then
we talked about this.
It's like
you haven't watched any of them. You didn't even watch Black Panther.
No, it made no sense. I was totally uninterested, so I fell asleep.
Thought you were culturally had your finger on the pulse
of comic books.
Even drag yourself to Black Panther.
I've fallen asleep 3 times during 3 different attempts to watch the movie Inception, and I've never finished it. I cannot get through that movie. Yeah, I can't. I just am out.
Well, it's about sleeping.
Well, it is
Maybe
about
that's the
sleeping.
problem.
Maybe that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I had some crazy dreams. Weirdly, I had some crazy dreams. Okay, I promised an update on a story that we've been really keeping our finger on the pulse of. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about the guy who got stranded out in the wilderness and survived by eating Taco Bell hot sauce packets that were left in his glove box. We followed up that Taco Bell was so pleased about this story making the rounds, probably mainly our podcast, that they awarded this gentleman as a punishment free Taco Bell for a year. Now a new story has arrived that Taco Bell sauce has saved another life. Okay.
Wow.
Taco Bell hot sauce is basically like the opposite of death in like the Final Destination movies. Like where it gets people into these absurd situations. And
that was the weirdest pull you've done in a long time.
No, wait till you hear what happened.
You were gonna go
wait till you hear what happened. Okay.
All right.
So this guy in Florida, Winter Haven, Florida, he's sitting there at the Taco Bell booth.
Hey, that's Orlando. Just FYI,
Yeah.
This is literally down the road from us.
You guys should go to the scene.
Of course, it was Florida. We already knew. It's like, how could it not be?
The most Taco Bell per capita eaten of anywhere in the world. So this guy's sitting there eating his Taco Bell, and he's sitting at a booth right on the, not far from a window. And he decides, you know what? I need some hot sauce right this second. He gets up, walks to the front of the store, grab hot sauce. At that very moment, a car plows through the Taco Bell lands right and drives right through the table where the guy was just sitting, but he got up to get the Taco Bell hot sauce. The hot sauce saved lives. Turned out it was a 77-year-old guy who had just also eaten Taco Bell. It was in that kind of post Taco Bell days.
Too much hot sauce.
And he thought he had the car in reverse when in fact it was in drive and hit the gas and drove right through it. But the hot sauce saved the guy's life. So that's two confirmed lives that we know of that were saved by Taco Bell hot sauce. I mean, we don't know how many people have been killed, but by just toxic intake, that have had lethal doses of hot sauce over their lifetime. But we do know it saved two lives. But the guy driving through, like putting it, he was fine, by the way. No one was hurt. So we can laugh about this. But the 77-year-old guy, that's my favorite visual gag, by the way, is to get on one of those little remote control carts at the store and drive up to a big elaborate display and like take a look at the item like, oh, this looks like a nice can of beans. I think I'll put this in the basket. Look behind you as if you're backing up from there and then hit the gas and jump right into it and act all surprised and flustered when it happens. It's hilarious every time. So
every
time, meaning you saw it once on a Mr. Bean movie when you were 11.
No, I'm talking about I do it every time. I haven't told you guys this. I haven't told you guys this. I don't walk in the grocery store anymore or Target. That I've determined that if there are free motorized carts, that no one asks any questions. No one asks if you're capable of just walking around the store. That no one cares and no one asks. It's foolish to not just take them every time. I didn't tell you guys this. I'm done walking. In stores. If they have a motorized thing, I'm taking it. Like I've lived my whole life just walking around like a sucker when they got 4 of those things just sitting there charging all day. I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking around.
Jesse, that is like taking a handicap parking spot. I mean, you don't know who the next customer is who might actually need it, and you're off joyriding on it.
But who actually needs one of those motorized carts?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, it's the person that needs the
people got a difficult time walking.
Older folks? Haven't they figured it? Okay.
Listen.
I mean, I'm just quoting Jesse here. This is just what Jesse said to me. Yeah, haven't they figured it out by the time they got to the motorized cart? Like, don't they already have their own cart or something?
Okay. I would say I had to use one time. I broke my foot and I had to go grocery shopping and I had an air cast and I couldn't push the cart around. So I had to drive around in one of those thingies. So if Jesse was off joyriding, I wouldn't have been able to get my groceries.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to walk from your car to the grocery into the front doors. It's another thing to have to walk up and down the aisles and get all your grocery shopping done.
But here's the thing. I've never been in a store and there's not like 6 of them just parked there. There's never just one left. There's not like 4 of them buzzing around the store. No one ever uses them. They just sit there wasted. And listen, those were bought on profits from stuff that I had previously purchased. Like it's factored into the price of the stuff that I'm buying that
Do you
day.
think you deserve to use one?
I think I'm
your
entitled
taxes?
to. I didn't say to serve. I said entitled. If I want to use it, I have just as much of right as anyone. That's why I don't use self-checkout. I'm not doing somebody's job for them. I'm not. If they gave me a discount or they paid me, then I would do self-checkout. But I'm not doing that. I'm driving my cart up lazily.
I'm all about self-checkout. I don't have to make any chit-chat or eye contact with any other humans.
Oh, man.
I can mind my own business.
Neither do I. Listen,
Some of the stores are doing pickup now, so I can just order it online. It's everything you want.
I load up my cart. I drive to the very front of the longest line at a cash register and point to my back and just say, got to get out of here, guys. Got to get out of here. Cut right to the front, throw everything on the conveyor belt. Bing, bang, boom. I'm done. I just sat there and chill out the whole time. And
Cameron,
you suckers
shared a
were
couple
walking a mile around with an armful of milk.
Cameron, you shared a couple years ago that you like had like you would just go into a hotel and you'd never have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I changed my loyalty. Like I changed hotels to be at the same hotel so that I could do that. It's unbelievable. Just walk right in. Never a human being. I never interact with anyone.
That's wild.
When I travel, headphones go on at the airport here, and then they go off in my hotel room. I haven't spoken to nor looked at another human the entire time. The rental car company, the hotel, everything. It's all automatic. I don't have to talk to anybody.
What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you? You guys are getting on me for taking advantage of a free service offered to every customer. And you won't even talk to another human. Like mine's victimless. You are depriving everyone that you encounter of a lovely conversation. Cameron acts like I've gone out with him and I'm making small talk to just random people that we're encountering, with the guy behind the cash register, or just chit chatting here and there with whomever the day may bring across my path. And he looks at me like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" Right?
Jesse, we talked about this because we're on the same page on this. We like the layover.
Oh, I love the layover
on a flight. On a flight, if you give me an hour in an airport, I'll make a new friend.
Oh, I make friends every layover.
God,
like I text you, next time we're stuck in Baltimore.
You're like Kramer in that Seinfeld episode where the whole time they're in the lounge and he's like got gambling buddies and stuff. Like by the end of it,
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong?
Yeah,
man, you guys are so weird.
In every city in the United States.
You guys are so weird. In the US. Creating relationships with other people in similar circumstances. What a bunch of weirdos.
I feel like this way, Jesse. I provide the world with 2 to 4 hours of recorded thoughts every single week from me. Yeah. You know what I'd like back? Just complete silence. I would like them absolutely to leave me alone.
What is wrong with you? Listen, I record just as much, if not more, all the time, and I still got plenty of gas in the tank.
But you have an endless hole. There's some hole you're trying to fill in your heart. There's
something wrong with you. You're trying to fill a hole in your heart with other people. Oh man, that's so terrible. With relationships with other people. You sick person, you need such help. There is a hole that you only fill with God and other people. What an unhealthy weirdo. Me on the other hand, I like my privacy, silence, and escape of music and headphones, so I don't have to have the crippling social anxiety of actually conversing with a fellow human who might need my perspective on something. I'm the sick one, Eddie.
Yeah, 100%. You got it. That's exactly what I'm saying. I
talked to every Uber driver. I took an Uber last week, and I talked to him literally from the moment he picked me up at Cameron's house at 4:45, and ended with a firm handshake. Hey, good luck with stuff. Talk the whole thing. Great guy.
That's what I want.
Daniel.
I want Lyft or Uber to be able to make a setting in their app that just says, yes, I love talking. Let's talk a little bit, or no, I like a silent ride. I want that setting so that when they pick me up, they look at it and it just says, Eddie, no talking. And we just have a nice silent ride.
I talk the entire time.
You can see with the driver that you get now, it'll say like, you can read the notes that people leave about them. And it's like, great conversationalist. And I'm like, oh no. Can I cancel this ride? Can I get another one?
No.
I wish we could do that.
It's you're like that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry refuses to be friends with someone because he's already got his limit of friends, which is 3. And like, listen, my heart has enough room for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if I encounter you out there in the world, there's a spot for you there, and we might have a good convo, you know?
And that's why Jesse won't do the self-checkout. Okay, what do you have, Tyler?
All right. I got, so, on this podcast, let's start here. This isn't a political podcast.
No.
We all know that. We don't like to get into the messy politics in here, right?
Right.
Because we like to say about, you got other politics podcasts for that. So I don't want to this isn't going to be divisive or anything like that. I promise. But
Which means it will certainly be divisive. We're
this
ready.
is a podcast
You
about
only
writing.
qualify something with that, and he's gonna say some radical fringe political ideology right now.
This is about right and wrong. This isn't about politics.
to
This
it.
isn't about partisan.
Get to it,
this isn't
commie.
me. I'm not going to start waving my flag here, and none of us are going to do that. We're all going to do the same thing. This is just about something that is objectively concerning about a contender for the presidency in this country that I think we all need to be aware of.
Oh.
And I'm not saying if people talk about this, and I want it to be brought to light.
Let me talk about what I think are the real merits of socialism. Here we go. Not political.
The points of my new Green Deal. Let me hear it.
This is not. No, I think you guys are already you're the ones making this political. I'm not trying to talk politics here. I'm trying to keep this to a objective standard of right and wrong, something we all believe in, something we all acknowledge is real. There's objective truth. Morality is something that exists outside of ourselves, and an actual serious candidate for the presidency in 2020 has violated that standard.
The single payer insurance theory. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. I think we're all familiar with Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, former mayor of Newark. Seems like a really nice guy, right? He seems nice. I like the guy. I liked the guy until I started combing through. This was brought to light. Some tweets, some old Twitter's going to get you. This is how they get you. Old tweet. Got to delete your tweets now. Delete your tweets while there's still time. This is what I'm talking about. Back in 2009 is where we're starting.
10 years ago.
Cory Booker. This is just a tweet. He does. He said, "Sleep and I broke up a few nights ago. I'm dating Coffee now. She's hot."
Wow.
All right. Okay, so that's bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not good.
But to be fair, that's
egregious.
10 years ago. People are still figuring out what Twitter's supposed to do.
It's 10 years ago. That was early Twitter.
He's testing some material.
It's not funny. It's a joke. It's not funny. But I know the bar is different for politicians. You kind of like. I could let it slide.
But you understand that hot has two meanings in that joke.
I get it. I get
Okay.
Yeah, you
The
see.
2009 thing didn't translate. Okay. I get that now. I get it.
It was 2009. It was early.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Another tweet from 2000
rich and hot. Yeah.
2015. Yeah. 2015. Sleep and I broke up. I'm dating Coffee now.
No.
She is hot.
Oh, no.
2017.
No.
I broke up with Sleep last night and I'm dating Coffee this morning. I appreciate her warmth and stimulating company.
Wait.
2013.
What on earth?
Sleep and I broke up.
No.
I'm back with Coffee. She is hot. 2012. I had another fight with Sleep. We broke up again. So I'm back with Coffee now. She is hot. 2012 again. Sleep and I broke up tonight. I'm now dating Coffee.
On
She
earth?
is hot. 2009 had another fight with Sleep tonight.
What is going
I
on?
left her and I'm hanging out with my smoldering love, Coffee. And tonight she is hot. 2010.
No.
Mean old Sleep left me for another dude. I'm with Coffee now and she's got an attitude. 2011.
Okay, that was the worst one.
2012.
It's gone
2010,
far enough.
2012 again.
No.
Guys.
Is he on some sort of social platform that automatically tries to retweet his stuff? What is happening?
These are all variations. These aren't the same tweet. This is the same joke
Right, no, that's
told
right.
different
The same
ways.
bad joke.
The
Over
same
and over.
bad, not funny joke.
Is there a chance he has a really sly sense of humor and he totally gets the whole thing and thinks
this is his meme?
Yeah,
He's memeing himself?
Yeah.
No,
Literally every Thursday, Monday, Thursday, I tweet just another romantic Monday.
Right.
Every
great
year.
joke. You get it.
Yeah.
Every year. I know it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not funny. And I do it every year because it's the Letterman thing. I'm going to beat that thing into the ground for the rest of my life. That's just
every
happen.
Christmas. I tweet "Merry Christmas" to only my verified followers. It's the same joke. That's the only thing I say about Christmas.
That's good. That's good.
This isn't that. This is not the same. This isn't aware enough.
Fully self-aware. No.
Yeah.
He really thinks he's come up with gold, and he is mining that well.
And I like to think that he's like, I may have tweeted this before, and he's like, nah, this is fresh. This is
my
fresh.
gosh.
Yeah, I like to think he thinks he made it up the fresh that time.
Every time.
Two observations about this, Tyler.
Yeah,
First off, you're right. This exempts him from being the next president of the United States. We cannot
100%.
have this man.
Disqualifying.
You want
100%.
a man who would tweet this over and over again for most of a decade to have in his possession the keys to the nuclear arsenal. No, sir. It's
not right.
The second thing
right.
is, I think he needs to be called before Congress to answer for this. This is awful. This is a congressional hearing.
An FBI investigation into this is his Access Hollywood moment. It's very he needs to answer. We need some answers about this. The American people deserve it.
I can't
Tyler,
wrap my head around
that
it.
is vexing. I really am going to think about all day what was going through his head. I mean, because you're right, it wasn't the Letterman-esque meta thing where he
This
gets
was
that
not.
it's
This
so
was not the I keep doing it until people pick up on it.
Yeah.
There's too much time in between.
Yeah. And too many of them. I mean, two in the same
too many of
year.
them.
I mean, it's like, what did he snap, or does he really have that bad of a sense of humor? That's crazy. Now I can't stop thinking about this and Bert. Oh man,
there's a lot happening.
It's two big things, and I don't want to. I'm people of New Jersey obviously got some fondness for them, and Cory Booker. He seems nice, but that's the ones you got to watch out for the most.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Nice
here.
Nice doesn't cover up. One right doesn't erase a wrong, and this is a pretty significant.
For some reason,
wrong.
this seems treasonous to me. Like this seems really beyond the pale. I don't. This man cannot be an elected official.
No. All right, what do you have, Eddie?
Well, I think one of my favorite moments ever that I've had as part of the Relevant podcast was actually a moment that I wasn't physically at, but got to participate as an online troll. And it was when Jesse was doing Trapped in the Cage. And when he's trapped in the cage, it turned into this all night weird kind of banter between those that were actually in the studio and those who were around the world watching and listening and helping raise money. And it was really fun. And I would say my favorite part of it was when somebody posted Chandler's phone number.
I did.
And oh yeah, that's right. Not somebody. Chandler's brother posted his phone number.
It's kind of a mentee exercise. And I'm gonna dox you
The
right
ladies
now.
in the Facebook chat. It was like 2:30.
No, it was later than
Oh
that.
yeah, 3 in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
We just got talking about Chandler's availability and their availability, and I decided to make the love connection and put his phone number, his cell phone number, on the internet.
No
and
problem.
he woke up to 43 messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next morning.
Yep.
And then I got up, I see it. People are starting to share it. Everybody is just typing out 407-952. So everybody's putting Chandler's number so that you can call or text him. No big deal. Well, similarly, earlier this month, March 6th to be correct, Chris Ferry got a text on his phone and said, "Hey man, did you see the billboard?" It turns out that Chris's sons every year play a little prank on their dad, and they rented out billboard space in New Jersey. And it was just a small town in New Jersey. It wasn't like, by the airport or anything. It was just a small town in New Jersey. And they thought their idea was, okay, my dad will drive by it. They'll see his face on it and see his phone number, and he'll get a couple texts from friends. And all the billboard said was, "Wish my dad a happy birthday. Love, your sons." And then it posted in big, huge numbers, his phone number and a picture of the dad. So the dad gets the text that says, "Hey, did you see this?" The dad goes and takes a picture of it, sends it to the sons. The sons post it. And as you can imagine, it goes totally viral. It basically bricked his phone. He started getting tens of thousands of calls from all over the world. Philippines, Kenya, Luxembourg, Ireland, Guatemala, Nepal, Australia, and yesterday, Gainesville, Florida. Let's hear it.
A happy birthday.
Hey, where you calling from?
Yes, sir. I'm calling from Gainesville, Florida. I'm actually on the Relevant podcast, and I'm in Gainesville, Florida. And that's where I'm calling from. Where are you?
I am visiting family in Boynton Beach.
Oh, that's so nice. How many calls have you gotten?
I've had over 200,000 calls and texts.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
This is day 12.
How is it? I mean, are you going to be able to keep this number?
No, I already have a new phone.
Oh, yeah,
I got
you're
a new
done.
phone
Yeah.
Occasionally, I just pick it up to have a little bit of fun and talk. It's nice enough to call me. Where's your podcast play at?
Yeah, well, it's called The Relevant Podcast, and we play all over the world. So a bunch of people we share stories every single week of things that are interesting. And when I saw that I guess it's your son's pranked you?
Well, I'm looking at him right now. I'm going to give him the bill for my new phone.
Oh, yeah, you really should. You really should. Well, happy birthday. I know it was on Sunday, but I hope you had a nice birthday. Your sons sound like amazing guys.
Yeah, they are. I'm very
Yeah.
proud of them. So,
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'll tell you what. Go Gators.
Yeah, right. Go Gators. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Ferry.
That's crazy.
So again, that's 407-952. Chandler.
Cameron Eddie. Did you hear what he said, though? Sometimes they just answer just to have a little fun and talk to somebody. Is that a weird concept for you guys?
Listening to this, I put my head on the table. It was so awkward. This is Scott's tots for me. Just hearing.
I hated it.
That was
Can you
pleasant.
tell how uncomfortable I was? I hated doing it, but I also was
You
like,
did sound uncomfortable, but he was having a good time. He was perfect. It was short.
Oh, he loves it.
You don't have to go. You're not going to have to like help him pay his taxes or anything like that. You're just talking to him.
What made you uncomfortable about that, Cameron? That was a pleasant conversation with a lovely gentleman on his birthday.
The lovely stranger.
With a street.
Just calling a stranger. It'd be like talking to somebody at an airport lounge during a layover. I mean, who does that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Had a lovely conversation on the way back from Florida last week. Met a nice couple.
I'm just absolutely shocked, though, that after he's had this up for so long, I mean, I called him on the 18th. This story has been, I mean, when you look it up, it's everywhere. Every major news outlet.
Yeah.
He's got to be getting a call every second.
How
And
many
he's
times did you call before he picked up?
First time. I literally dialed the number and he
my
picked up.
word.
He's like, "Hey, Billboard Dad." And I was like, "Hold on, I got to hit record." And I hit record and then we started the conversation. So
Billboard
I also
Dad.
like that he sounded like he sounded sort of like Mark Wahlberg's father.
I was
or
gonna say,
something,
he sounded
like a
like-
disaffected meat packer.
Yeah,
He was like,
I-
"Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, the first thing I thought is this guy's in the mafia. This guy. Oh, he's a wise guy. He's a made man. You just spoke to Eddie.
So anyhow, great prank, really cool guy, and thank you, Mr. Ferry, for being on the show. That's it.
We need
you go.
to put this is a little editor's note, Chandler. If you can make a note, make sure you put in the title Kim Walker Smith and Billboard Dad, because we did have two guests this episode.
Big deal.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Kim Walker Smith joins us.
The throne room and I fall on my face with angels and saints, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you, God. My heart can't contain the weight of your name, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you.
You're listening to our next guest, Kim Walker Smith. The song is Throne Room. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Taco Cat with Grains of Salt. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Quip. One of the most important things we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth, yet most of us don't do it properly, Eddie. Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers. Quip was designed to make brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even enjoyable. People brush too hard, and some electric toothbrushes are too abrasive, so Quip's sensitive sonic vibrations are gentle enough on your gums. Up to 90% of us don't brush for a full 2 minutes or don't clean evenly, so a built-in 2-minute timer pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides. You know, and 3 out of 4 of us use bristles that are old, worn out, and ineffective, and that's why Quip brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. That's why I love Quip and use Quip and have for a couple years now. And that's also why Quip is backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25 if you go to getquip.com/relevant. Right now, you'll get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/relevant. Go do it. Well, Kim Walker Smith is best known as a worship leader with Jesus culture, but in her debut book called Brave Surrender, she opens up about her painful upbringing and how she overcame shame and fear to find a deep Healing in God. Our very own Tyler Daswick recently spoke to Kim about the book and her story. And it was for a piece in the new issue of Relevant, actually.
That's right.
Welcome, Daz.
Thank you.
Tell us about the conversation.
The conversation was great. This book, Brave Surrender, was all about Kim's transformation from someone who was really defined herself by trauma and abuse and all these external hurts that were going on in her life to someone who's defined by her relationship with God, kind of her path to this amazing worship leader that we know now. And our conversation, what I was really hopeful to capture was what exactly did all of that change look like? And so that's where I started. I literally asked Kim, could you introduce me to the person you were before who didn't know Jesus? And I love the way she talked about herself. Here's what she said.
Kim Walker before Jesus is a Kim that really wanted to put on a mask and show you whatever she thought you wanted to see. So if you need a good student, she's a good student. If you need someone who can be lively and excited and get the crowd going, she can be that. And if you need someone who can be kind and gracious and whatever, she can be that. But when you get around her, you feel this edginess, like at any moment something could burst out and eat you alive, and it's just a little bit scary. And that's the anger that's like bubbling underneath the surface.
Pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't dive into, we don't need to get like really deep into like Enneagram nerd talk here, but that sounds like a very 9 statement. If you're familiar with that idea, like I'll be whatever anybody wants to be, just don't get mad at me. Which is how when I'm a 9 too, and you get really unhealthy in that because you lose all sense of yourself and you just feel a lot of tension inside because you're trying to keep everybody happy by adapting to what you think their expectations are.
Yeah, I was going to say that about you, Tyler.
The other thing,
you're not wrong.
The other thing that's interesting about that too is, at the end of the day, she said when, there was a moment to be like transparent or real or authentic with herself, she was defined herself by anger, which I don't think anyone who's listened to any of your music or listened to Jesus culture would associate anger as the emotion that's being expressed. So it's interesting that that's how she kind of felt her true self really was someone who really struggling with anger.
Yeah. And that, directly affects her first encounter with Jesus. She kind of applies all of that anger and hurt to what she's hearing about God. You hear this, you're going through all of this hardship and you hear, oh, God has a plan. God's in control. And it's very natural, I think, the question, like, what are you supposed to do with all of that? How are you supposed to reconcile that? And it paints a pretty difficult picture of Jesus. And here's how she illustrated that.
The older I grew and the more kind of comprehension of God and his vastness, I suddenly had this realization of you are God, and if you could do anything, you could stop these things from happening to me. And so a lot of my anger and my pain started to turn towards him. And it started with you're letting these things happen to me and turned into you don't love me, you don't care about me, and then turned into I was a mistake and I shouldn't have been born. And why did you even let me be born? Why am I even here? Why are you putting me through this?
It's intense, but I think in a strange way, thinking about it, lashing out like that is the only way you can really feel empowered in a situation like that. It's weirdly understandable.
Yeah, it does seem like in that, like almost like reclaiming the power of like, no, I get to feel this. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But again, I feel like that's so interesting because I never would have thought that about her, as someone who's mainly experienced her through her music, which seems to be so focused on grace and adoration and, kind of praise.
Yeah, it's almost like her music is the resolve of the thought she's expressing to Daz right now. But I also appreciate that she's saying that because it's good to have permission yet again that it's okay to be just blatantly angry at God and not just like take everything at face value and like God can handle that anger and obviously can work in and through it. So I like her.
Yeah, and Kim starts to sort of move toward exactly what you're talking about, Eddie, that kind of reconciliation. And I really love the way that she phrased her growth and maturity coming out of that period. Let's listen.
It was as if I'm standing and looking at God, at Jesus, and there's this veil between us. And I can see through to the other side and see him, and I want to be with him, but I can't get there because of this veil between us. And I suddenly knew and understood that was my demand for answers. And I had to essentially humble myself and lay down my pride. And it didn't matter what I thought I deserved, because humility says that doesn't matter. But also, the thing that helped me to be able to lay that down was my hunger. Suddenly, my hunger and my desperation for freedom and for God outweighed my demand for the answers. So suddenly, I just wanted God more than I wanted the answers.
I think that summarizes one of the hardest things about faith, admitting you're just never going to know. And coming from Kim Walker-Smith, this perceived super Christian, I thought that was pretty significant.
Yeah, that's a pretty profound insight, making that, because I feel like a lot of people may never make that revelation and connect those dots, that what they actually want isn't answers, but God. They're never. I feel like there's a lot of people that never cross that kind of intellectual barrier of saying, "Oh, what I'm really looking for isn't necessarily the answers to the questions I have," or I want to know the reason why these things happen to me. What I want is God. I feel like just to be able to make that leap is pretty profound. And to be able to articulate it like that.
Yeah, and I think it led to this really cool part of the conversation where Kim kind of laid out this call to action for the church to engage with this tension more. Here's what she said.
You give your life to Jesus, and you experience love, and you experience freedom and joy and hope, especially that first point of conversion. There's just this exuberance and this just so happy at what you've just found and what has just found you. But the reality is that there is a process after that you come to him and he forgives you and makes you clean. But sometimes we still have baggage and we still have mindsets that are just ingrained in us from whatever we've walked through before him. And we come with these things that need healed and fixed and changed. And that is the whole point of why we need redemption. That is why Jesus came. He didn't come and lay down his life for a moment with us, a conversion experience. But he laid down his life so that we could have a lifetime of relationship and this constant evolving and changing and growing with him, becoming more like him. And that's what the restoration is. That's what he came to do. That's heaven on earth. That's the kingdom of God on earth. It's us, his people, being restored completely, 100% in his likeness, back to what it was always meant to be. And that's a journey and a process. And we need more people in the church to talk openly about that.
This made me want to ask you guys. I'm a little bit newer to the Christian world than many of you, and so I was curious, how have y'all seen Christians engage with this conversation about redemption and growth being a continual process, even kind of past that conversion moment that Kim's getting at? How does the church kind of talk about this?
I think it's evolved. And I think a lot of people, the big jumping off point of, maybe even the deconstruction, reconstruction process is when they realize that there is no, faith isn't about some magic prayer that, gets you on the right side of eternity. That faith is a process that you can grow and kind of, really try to achieve the mind of Christ, and really to understand, to be, to literally that you decrease so that he increases, so that you learn that it's a constant journey of becoming less of yourself and more of him, that you become more of a vessel for him. I think I think for a lot of people, that's like the big aha moment of like, oh, this isn't just like a magic prayer where I don't have to go to hell anymore. This is something where I'm literally in the process of being made a new creation, and that process of making something new, even when God created the entire universe, he did it over a period of time. It wasn't just a finger snap. It was, different periods. And I think that growth process, I think when people understand that's what Christianity is more like than some just, magic trick, that's really a profound moment for a lot of people.
Daz, I feel like I've seen it a lot with like generationally within the church, like and again, this is a broad brush, but the younger generation of Christians appear to like, if they're going to engage in this, they're going to do it honestly. And so there seems to be a very open, comfortable conversation with, here are things that are not as they should be. I mean, it's basically the arc that she just, spoke about. I question, I wrestle with God, I'm angry, I understand God's redemption, and then I repeat the whole cycle again. Whereas in maybe older churches, and again, I want to be careful because there are a lot of awesome woke older churches, but in churches where, our older generations, I think that sometimes there's just a fear to have that kind of honesty, a fear to have that kind of truth that like, sometimes I do doubt. Sometimes I feel very distant, and sometimes I don't understand God's grace. And then sometimes I feel it being restored and revealed. And I think there's just a hesitancy to really talk about what it means to live a life as a Christian, which is not all just linear. It's very cyclical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Well, it's a fascinating article in the new issue of Relevant. You all should go read it. It's available in newsstands nationwide, but you can also view the whole issue at relevantmagazine.com. It's awesome to see somebody, like you said, she's just kind of a super Christian.
Yeah.
Open up about vulnerability. And her new book is great and does that. It comes out, I think, in a couple of weeks, right? In early April, her new book comes out. So make sure to get that. And then also check out the article that Daz wrote with Kim Walker-Smith in the new issue of Relevant. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Daz.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's our Listener of the Week.
Do you love God but find religion troublesome? If the church has you feeling like an outsider, Optimisfits is here to change that. In his new book, Ben Corson leads a rebellion against the culture of religiosity and vanilla-flavored Christianity. Too many people die in their 20s and are buried in their 70s. And too many people exist but don't actually live. Optimisfits makes a way for outsiders and misfits to give up on going through the motions and embrace a new approach to life by living out a courageous optimism. Your days of uninspired faith are over. Join Ben Corson and live a life as an Optimisfit. Optimisfits is available wherever books are sold.
You're listening to Glad. The song is Careless. I think I pronounced it right. It's Glod, but the O has that slash through it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Careless. Okay, it is time for...
You listen to the show, and it's time to get to know you. It's the Listener of the Week.
It's time for our Listener of the Week. Okay, Jesse, tell us who you have chosen this week to join us.
On the line today is Kayla O'Brien. And Kayla...
O'Brien. Oh, wow. O'Brien. It's very apropos of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. Kayla, how did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Well, my son was sick, so we just stayed on the couch all day.
Oh, bummer.
Where are you calling us from, Kayla?
Potato famine, classic.
From Oakland, Maryland.
Oakland, Maryland.
That's a made-up city.
Where do you really live? Real. That cannot be real.
Is are crabs popular up there?
No, we're actually all the way on the western side, basically West Virginia.
Oh, so the nice part of Maryland.
Other than telling people you say you're from Oakland and then clarifying that it's Oakland, Maryland, what is the most interesting thing about living in Oakland?
Well, we have a lake here that a lot of people from like Baltimore and DC come up to.
Yeah.
So you could do that.
Hold on.
The
Kayla, I'm
Wisp.
so sorry to interrupt. This is Eddie. It's nice to meet you. But the most
Nice to meet you.
your lead off fact was that there's a lake in your city that other people come to.
That's basically all we have. Yep.
Pretty cool place.
Well, there's a low part in the land where water sits.
Kayla, I have a question though. This is something that you know, I'm a sports fan, right?
Yeah.
So, are you a fan of like the Orioles or like the Wizards or like the regional teams? Or are you all about Oakland? Like, are you a fan of the Warriors,
the Raiders,
and the A's? Because I feel like you do live in Oakland, you could get away with it.
No, I'm actually Pittsburgh everything fan, except for college, which is WVU.
Interesting.
Oh, did you grow up in Pittsburgh?
No.
Well,
It's
then this is all
actually
making
2.5
sense.
hours away. It's just the closest sports teams.
It's so the closest in proximity to Oakland's big lake is Pittsburgh. Okay.
The 3 facts that she sent in about herself, which we'll go through them and you can expound on them. The first one, you said, I totaled my dad's truck and knocked out electricity for miles. What happened?
Yeah. So I was coming home from work one night. Actually, the reason why I had his truck was he was going to go pick up my new car. So that makes the story even more sad.
Oh, that's really bummer.
So
how long ago was this? Like what? Like were you in high school?
Yeah, I just graduated high school.
Okay.
So it was the time of night where it was just starting to get icy, but like you couldn't really see if it was icy. So I was going down this hill and there's this really sharp turn. So I was going around the turn and the truck started fishtailing.
Oh no.
What?
So I just kept going back and forth, and luckily there was no car, but I ran into a telephone pole. Luckily the telephone pole was there because then I would have ran through a house otherwise.
Can I ask one question before we continue? When I picture a town like Oakland, that's, it's a lake town, small town, seems like good people up there.
Yeah.
I picture they call it Dead Man's Curve, and just everyone knows the bend in the road you're referring to. Does it have a cool name like that?
There's no cool name. I'm sorry. A lot of the roads up here are twisting and turning.
Okay. All right.
It's not a special twist.
So it's not Dead Man's Curve over by Lookout Point where the high school is. Okay, I gotcha.
Nope, sadly it's not. I should name it that though.
Yeah.
By the quarry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you knock out power. Were people upset about this, losing power because of your reckless driving?
Well, it's clearly cold too. So I guess you guys have gas heat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And wood stoves. But I knocked it out. The people beside me probably are warm because I caught the trees on fire. So.
Oh wow!
What?
Wow. That's quite.
You caught the trees on fire, and how you mentioned wood stoves. How prevalent are chimney sweeps? Is that a big business up there in Oakland?
I guess so. I mean, they come to our house once a year. So.
Do you finance that, or are you able to pay all at once?
Yeah.
Okay. Second, that's tragic. It's terrible. Were you okay after the wreck?
Yeah.
I mean, you lit the forest on fire and totaled a truck.
I was fine. My whole left side was pretty bruised up, and I had a cast on my wrist, but I was fine other than that.
When you went to the grocery store after that accident, did you use the motorized cart or did you hobble around on your own power?
Mm-hmm. They're free to use.
I hobbled around. I didn't want to draw any more attention than there already was. So.
Yeah. And you want to leave it for
were you
people.
like a local celebrity at that point? Everyone in Oakland knew, hey, there's Kayla who knocked out power the other night, caused that big wildfire.
At Dead Man's Curve, down by the quarry. Yeah.
Everyone at Lookout Point's talking about it tonight.
How was Dad's car? Was it totaled?
Yeah.
Oh, it was totaled.
It's gone.
He was kind of upset because that was like, he's wanting a truck his whole life, and that was his first truck. And so when he pulled up, I was in tears because I was like, I'm so sorry I wrecked your truck. He's like, I'm so glad that you're okay.
Oh,
yeah, but I'm going to tell you, as a father of daughters, inside, he was still like, seriously, man?
About that truck.
I've been waiting for this truck my whole life.
Well, guess who? Now I got to pay the insurance premium. Guess who's not getting a chimney sweep this year? Our financing, we're not in good standing with the chimney sweeps.
All right, your second fact says, my freshman year of band camp, I won the gong show in a very interesting way. Do tell.
Yeah, so every year they have the gong show, which is about toward the end of band camp. And if you win the gong show, then all the seniors are nice to you that entire year. So That was my goal. I do not want to
time out here.
We got it.
The award for winning a gong show for an entire camp full of musicians
is that you're treated like a human.
Is that people won't bully you?
Yeah,
That's
your dignity is affirmed if you win.
Yeah, basically. So that was my goal. And my instructors, because I was in color guard, my instructors told me the grosser, the better. So I was like, okay. So luckily I was in last place and everybody else was like trying to belch the ABCs and dancing. I was like, these people are stupid. So I got up there and was like, I'm going to lick the bottom of my shoe. And I did that. And they're like, you win. So that was the easiest thing I've ever won. But
I like that on your scale of what is and is not stupid. Like burping the ABCs was so dumb, but licking the bottom of your shoe earns you the respect of your peers your senior year. So that's awesome.
not just the respect of peers, but people much older and wiser than you. It's like she's thinking creatively. She licked the bottom of her shoe in front of all of us.
And that won the whole. That took home the cake. That was it.
I have a question. I've always wanted to ask this, but you're the first color guard person I've ever spoken to. Is there like a weird vibe between color guard and then people that play instruments, or like color guard and people that throw batons? Because it feels like you're all in the same group, but you're pretty different.
I wouldn't say there's a weird vibe. We're pretty different. We had our own section of the bus, and I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's allowed in America in 2019.
No.
I'm a big fan of the baton throwers because a lot of it seems like, because I always like key in right on them at like a halftime show, at a high school or college football game. And about 3/4 of them look like they were plucked from the audience. Have never done this before. Like they are just hucking that baton as far as they can, run to catch it, and don't even come close.
The hard part with being a flag twirler is when you drop that thing, everybody knows. Like with the baton, they can quickly just sweep it up off the ground and keep going, and maybe they didn't get. But you are just taking a huge red, white, and blue flag and just throwing it on the field.
What was your instrument, Kayla?
No. It baton. It was flag.
Oh, it was flag.
Color guard.
Flag.
What did you do at band camp then?
Great question.
Like that seems like it seems like all the instruments.
I was keeping quiet because I was homeschooled. So I knew there's something I was supposed to know, but didn't.
If I'm the oboe or the snare guy, it's like they got a full day of activities: wrist exercises, cleaning the reeds, circular breathing. They got a whole docket for the flags. So like, all right, you guys hear your flags? You swing them around. What did you spend your days doing? What did you spend your days?
During band camp, you have to learn your position on the fields, and then you have to learn your routine along with that at the same time.
I thought flags just get to walk around wherever they want. Just
it was more of like an accessory.
She got a little defensive there. Did you hear it? She was a little like, excuse me.
She's had this conversation before.
Numerous times.
Okay, and her final fact said she watched The Office the entire time she was in labor, or she can tell her most embarrassing story. So we're going with the latter. What's your most embarrassing story?
Oh man, I try to forget them because I'm pretty embarrassed daily because that's just the type of person I am.
I really like you a lot.
Kayla, and like it makes sense that you watch The Office the entire time you're in labor. You seem like a pretty chill person. Like if there's ever been a listener of the week that was probably in labor and decide that was the time to binge watch season 4 of The Office, it's Kayla. Because Kayla, you sound pretty chill.
So you can get through this most embarrassing.
Yeah, you can get through it.
You've been through labor.
We're nice people. Yeah.
Well, I used to work at McDonald's and I ripped my pants like the whole inseam. That's about the most embarrassing thing I have because, like I said, I try to forget daily what embarrassing things happened to me.
So
you ripped your pants. So what was the context?
She was working at McDonald's.
Yeah,
I was working at McDonald's. At the end of your shift, you have to stock all the sauces and all the fun stuff like that. So I bent down to do that, and I heard rip, and I thought, crap. Luckily, no one is back here, so I just had to waddle around, legs together, the rest of the shift.
Well, that's not so bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of like that's a pretty good life.
Well, listen, it's not like crashing your dad's truck and lighting the woods on fire.
I was going to say we're talking to someone who knocked out power for an entire town, started a wildfire, and totaled her father's dream truck in one incident. And splitting her pants at McDonald's was worse. Good for you, Kayla.
I think it means you just lived your life you're cautious, and that's good. That's a good thing. Maintained a lot of dignity that way.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Okay. If you want to be our listener of the week next week, hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and tell us 3 interesting facts about yourself. We prefer facts that come with stories loaded in them. You know, you can tell us what happened. Hey, many thanks to Kim Walker-Smith for joining us. You can follow her on Twitter at Kim Walker-Smith. And remember, her book, Brave Surrender, is available for pre-order now. It comes out in a couple weeks. And make sure to read the article we did with her in the new issue of Relevant, which you can view at relevantmagazine.com. Thanks to Quip for sponsoring the show and making the episode possible. Remember, Quip starts at just $25. And when you go to getquip.com/relevant right now, you get your first refill pack for free. That's at getquip.com/relevant. Hey, if you heard last Friday's edition of the show, you know that we have voting live right now for the Hot List jingle. If you go to relevantmagazine.com/vote, you can cast your vote on which one of the 5 jingles will make the permanent cut.
Is it too late to submit jingles?
Yeah, we got the 5. The internet is in a fierce debate about the jingles. We got some people pulling pretty hard for number 2.
I was going to say one. I don't want to like mess up the vote here, but one of them has a commanding lead at this point. I won't say which one, but one of them is far and away the favorite so far.
Really? All right.
Hey, if you like the Relevant Podcast, help us spread the word. You can subscribe to the show in Apple Podcasts, and while you're there, give us a 5-star review. We need to get 161 more 5-star reviews to be a full 5-star podcast. That's crazy. Huh? I didn't know that.
I don't even know what that means, really.
I think it's almost like getting verified, like the people you wish Merry Christmas to.
I think we're at like 4.5 because of
I didn't like the show early on, but then I just joined the show and it got better, so I'll change my review.
Yeah, please do. Please retroactively.
It is funny that people, like a lot of people, like went and did bad reviews to be funny. Like they wrote funny things to us and like 1 star, and like you're screwing up our algorithm, people. Stop.
Yeah. Oh, it really matters a lot. Actually,
that hurts. It's like you wouldn't do that to an Uber driver. Don't do it to us. Yeah. I did it as a joke to an Uber driver and told him, "Hey, 1-star jokester." I had to leave the car. It was a horrible situation.
Hey, right now we are offering a special subscription deal for Relevant for podcast listeners. You can get the first 6 months of the magazine for only $6 when you subscribe at relevantmagazine.com/podfan. And while you're at the website, if you have a couple minutes, we'd love to hear from you. You can take our quick demographic survey at relevantmagazine.com/podsurvey. And if you want more Relevant in your life, you need to check out our new show, Relevant Daily. We bring you what you need to know each day at the intersection of faith and culture, all in about 10 minutes. You can watch Relevant Daily on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, or I think it's rolling out to IGTV this week. Or you can subscribe to the audio podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for Relevant Daily. I'm having fun doing that. It's been really good.
Yeah.
You guys should check it out. Hey, make sure to tune in on to Friday's episode of the podcast. We have a special guest sitting in for Annie. You won't want to miss her. It's going to be a lot of fun. Special guest cast member on Friday. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
I am 407952.
We will see you on Friday.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Listen, I got about 4 more years before I pay off that last chimney sweeping.
Relevant Podcast Network.